Jen was just telling me an awful story about a fire, so let's just start the class.
Good plan.
All right, shoulder.
My smoke detectors today.
Yeah, check the batteries. Let's get it all done. Yeah, my mom and my sister, they lost their apartment
Whoa.
for a candle. Everything inside. My mom was with sisters. My older sister lived with my mom, and there was a candle or something, and it everything. They lost everything.
I don't think I ever heard that story, Tina.
Yep. Yeah. They the school and the church and all that in Trenton. They donated clothing and furniture.
Wow.
Yep.
Grab your hands behind you, straighten your arms as much as you can. Lift as much as you can.
I was with my dad at the time, so.
Forward fold if it feels good. I know somebody that has died in a fire. I know a lot of people that have experienced just like they've lost their homes and it's too scary to me. It doesn't seem to matter. Fire is one of the things that we can't get on top of. There's not a lot we can do to really keep ourselves safe besides the smoke detector, right? But I mean, your home is going to burn down fast. There's not a lot we can do about that. All right, touch the floor between your feet, hips high.
We're talking about fire.
Yeah. Tina.
What have you done?
No, Tina bought us. No, it was Tina. She bought a smoke detector, and that made me all excited.
I got a smoke detector with a carbon monoxide.
Happy Sunday morning.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Well, at least we're not thinking about coronavirus.
That's right.
Wait. They incinerate, especially Halloween costumes and stuff.
Yeah, something way, and not the zombie or apocalypse.
Okay, put your knees to the floor. And then put your right foot forward. Hold that stretch from your hands. Or if you can, go down to your elbows. I can't. Every so often, maybe one day a month, I don't know why. I've never paid attention to what I've done the day before or what's around it, but sometimes I can put my elbow to the floor, no problem, randomly. Most of the time I can't. Maybe what? Maybe after, yeah.
Maybe that's a day of sugar.
Maybe. We'll have to test that. The secret is. All right, bring both hands up to your knee, tuck your pelvis, and with your left arm, either reach up and over or reach back and grab your foot. But either way, you're trying to keep your pelvis tucked so you feel that stretch in your hip and down the front of your leg.
How was that ice cream, Tina?
I didn't have any.
Oh.
I had yogurt and berries instead.
Wow.
Switch legs, left foot forward. Same thing on this side, either hands down or elbows down if you can.
So you did all that cardio.
And then ate yogurt.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
The word is that I don't have to burn off more.
Yep.
And it was French vanilla too, so.
Was that ice cream for breakfast day yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, the other night, Thursday night.
But yesterday was ice
At
cream.
the Mary Dairy, they had.
Did you
The
know
Mary
that
Dairy, they had
Mary?
flavored ice cream.
Oh yeah,
and
we got
Fruit
some.
Loops.
Right arm up and over.
You can put the Mary Dairy on your banking recipients list and they accept wire transfers.
Smart.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you show up and then you just transfer the money.
Oh, dear.
We have a plenty of the Mary Dairy on our recipients list.
All right, have a seat. You're a fitness instructor and your ice cream shop. That's it.
Priority.
Feet in front, knees up. Drop your knees side to side. Trying to lay your leg all the way down.
I haven't regretted that decision once. But sometimes I regret the workout.
Hands on the floor behind you or off the floor in front of you to make it harder.
Mary Dairy's strawberry ice cream is the greatest thing in the world.
I've never had it.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever had Mary Dairy.
So they were closed for like a month, and it was
Yeah.
the hardest month of my life. And they opened again, and we have like 2 pints of their ice cream now in our freezer again. And like,
Next up, we're gonna do downward dog into a sloppy push-up, which is similar to cobra in yoga, and then we're gonna come up to our knees and do a spider stretch. So this has 3 parts, and we're gonna go through it 3 times. So first, hands and knees, lift your knees up, push your hips high, head goes through your arms, hold for a few seconds, maybe bicycle pedal your heels, and then knees back down, but now lay all the way down, hands under your chest, elbows against your body, push your upper body from the floor, head up.
So Val, you'd hoard ice cream and not toilet paper?
oh, I don't afford it. It goes very quickly.
And then back to your knees, step forward with the left foot, trying to put your foot outside your hands, just like the first stretch we did, and then switch legs, right foot goes forward.
That's a really good icebreaker question. So my new team at work, they're obsessed with like starting every meeting with an icebreaker question. They're always pretty cheesy, but I like what thing would you hoard?
That's a good one. And then we're gonna start again, downward dog. We'll go through 2 more rounds a little quicker. Go all the way down for sloppy push-up. Now think about somebody pulling you back from your elbows. So it's lifting your upper body from the floor, but your elbows go straight back. And then back up to your knees. Spider stretch, so left foot forward. Hold for a few seconds. Switch legs, right foot forward. And we'll go through that one more time. One more downward dog. One more.
I would have to hoard chocolate chips.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Chocolate chips?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I still don't know.
Good for emergencies, good for baking.
Yeah, yeah.
You can make ice cream sauce.
Just like some little snacks when you want chocolate.
And then spider stretch, left foot forward.
At this point, I'm thinking it would be flour and yeast, and I have to cheat, and then I just live on bread. Like that would be great.
I would be okay with that.
We should start a food blog.
Okay, can I hoard 2 things? Can I hoard flour and chocolate chips?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
All right, onto your back. Either both feet flat on the floor and then drop both knees side to side, holding for a few seconds. But you're gonna keep switching side to side, or if that feels too easy, straighten your legs, lift one leg, and then drop that leg across to the side, all the way to the floor, lift up, switch legs. So either both knees side to side or one leg up and over, but you're gonna keep alternating, keep switching.
What he would hoard?
Yeah.
Well, obviously he'll have to hoard gravy, and I do the fries and cheese.
Teamwork.
If this is gonna work.
All right, I'm gonna, for those that have come to many classes, I'm gonna switch the warm up. We are gonna do glute bridge right now, since you're on your back, I know. Grab a mini band if you have it. If you don't have a mini band, that's all good. You can do this just the same without.
Don't panic.
Hollow hold.
It's gonna be fine. We will do that later. It's gonna be fine. Actually, we might
Don't
not.
panic.
All right. 20 seconds glute bridge up and down, and then 20 seconds up and hold. And we're gonna do that 4 times. If you have a mini band, put it on your legs just above your knees. We're gonna start in 15 seconds.
But what's a glute bridge?
What's the glute bridge? Can you show us?
Everything's changing. Go. Tuck your pelvis and then lift your bum up and down as high as you can with your belly button in. Come all the way to the floor each time. So try to get the biggest range of motion you can. Good, now up and hold. Make sure you're tucking your hips, squeezing your bum as hard as you can, pulling your belly button in as much as you can. If you want to make it even harder, push your knees out. Don't move your feet, just open your knees and hold. Especially if you have a band, that's going to really make it harder. Go again, down and up. Heels have to stay on the floor. You can lift your toes. You can actually lift your whole foot and just push your heel in, or you can keep your whole foot flat. Either way, your heel has to stay on the floor. Good, up and hold. Belly button in, tuck your hips, squeeze your bum. If you can lift a little higher, keeping all of that in control, try to come up as high as you can. Round 3, down and up. If you slide back, just adjust your foot position anytime you need to. The farther away your legs are, so the straighter your legs become, the more it's going to be a hamstring focus. So you want to make sure that your feet stay in the right position for glutes. Up and hold. If your feet are too close, if they're tucked in too close to your body, it'll put a little more strain on your quads, the front of your thighs, and your knees. So you want to have your feet pretty much under your knees or out just a little farther. One more time. Down and up. If you have any pain in your back, your lower back, make sure you're tucking your hips, so scoop your pelvis. And if that doesn't make it better, don't lift quite as high. Up and hold. This is the last interval. Five seconds, keep holding. Good, rest. Drop your hips, get the band off, and then slowly rock yourself up. We are going to skip the next part of the warm-up that we would normally do because I want to do half get up, half windmill. So we're going to start learning and practicing some of the kettlebell things. So you have two choices, and they're both parts of a Turkish get up. One option is called half windmill or windmill. You're going to be on one leg. So one knee is on the floor, the other foot is in front. If you need to, fold your mat or get a towel and put it under your knee. For this exercise, you can use a dumbbell if you have one, if that's a better weight. A kettlebell is a better tool, a better piece of equipment for this because it hangs from your hand. That hang creates a greater stability challenge. Like it's harder to control this weight because the way it hangs. If you have a dumbbell, the weight is in your hand, so it's easier to control. If that's what you have to work with though, grab your dumbbell. So for the windmill, your right foot is going to be in front and your right arm is up. You're going to push your hip to the right. So really stick your bum back. Some people will go to the side, some will go straight back. Either is fine. But from there, you're going to turn your body and try to put your left hand to the floor. So what we're going for is a really straight line on the side of your body and then come all the way back up and bring your whole body forward. The goal is to keep that top arm completely straight and stable. So not swaying around and not bending. So I will be working on that because it's a really, really good foundation exercise that covers a lot of strength and mobility. For those of you that have done lots of windmill and you want to practice a different part of the Turkish get up, if you want to, you can do last week we did half windmill or half sit up, half get up, and then a glute bridge. So you could repeat that if you like it. But the challenge today is on your feet. So this is when you get up to the top of the Turkish get up, hold that arm straight, come down to your knee, half windmill, come back up and stand. So that is the part for those that want to work on different parts of the get up. That's the part you can work on today. I'm going to do the half windmill. The intervals are going to be 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. And we're going to do this 5 times each side. So right side, left side, right side, left side. 40-20 is kind of arbitrary. Just take your time. If you want to stop before the interval, just stop early. It's all good. All right, so grab your weight. If you're not sure about any of it and you don't want to pick up your weight, you don't have to. You can do this without. I demonstrated just now without any weight in my hand. That is a good place to start if you're not sure. A lightweight kind of helps. It helps you figure out how to engage, but if the weight you have is not light enough for you, just go without.
Okay, Jen, so we can do, if we want the full getup, is that okay?
Oh yeah,
too?
totally, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to practice individual parts. It's also good to practice the whole thing. Like, go for it.
Okay, but I'm good with both. So what are you doing? Are you doing individual
I'm
parts?
gonna do the half windmill. That's the only part I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to demonstrate that, and I'm kind of keep talking about that to help those that are still learning that part.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, 15 seconds to go.
To the fetal position.
Jen is set up to pick up the kettlebell from her back. I'm going to do the half windmill. So down to your knee, right foot in front. Go. So with my right foot in front, my right arm is up. I'm going to push my bum to the right, turn my body a little, and put my left hand to the floor. Then I'm going to come all the way back up and turn back. So my bum goes to the right, turn, left hand to the floor, come all the way up, turn back. So try to use your hip as much as you can. Even if you feel really, really tight, like there's something blocking you from pushing your hip back, this will help gain that flexibility. This is going to help work on the flexibility in your hips, the strength in your core, and the rotation in your shoulder joint. Good, rest all the way down. We're going to switch sides. We are taking a 20-second break between sides. If you're doing the get up and you don't finish right at the intervals, don't worry about it. Just keep going. So now it's going to be left foot in front and your left arm up. Ready? Go. So push your bum to the left. So whatever side your foot, your arm is up, your hip is going that way. Turn your body and put your right hand to the floor all the way back up and rotate back. Hip out, turn your body, right hand to the floor, come all the way up and turn back. So for some people, this is really, really tough. Like your hips are tight, your shoulder is tight, and all of that is okay. This is a really, really good drill to help loosen up your hips and your shoulders. It's just gonna take time. So be patient and work at it, but don't expect it to be easy right away. Good, rest. 4 rounds to go. We're gonna keep going. So if you can't quite get your hand to the floor and you have a pillow or a yoga block is awesome for a lot of things, but even a book, something you can put your hand on, that might really help. So now I've got my right foot in front again, my right arm up, go. I'm gonna push my bum to the right, turn my body. And now if you need to, you can put your hand on something so you don't have to go to the floor. Come all the way up and turn back. Push your bum, turn your body, hand to the floor or the pillow, come all the way up and turn back. Now the foot that's behind you can rotate. So if you have a moment you want to watch me, I can turn that foot, bring it in. That might help turn your body. That might help with the flexibility in your hips. You don't have to keep that foot straight back. It can move. Rest. So I'm going to demonstrate that. You guys rest. I'm going to show you what I mean on the other side. So now I would have my other foot in front, my left arm up. And if I need to, I can turn on my knee. That might help you move your hips better. It might help you move your bum back more. Ready, left side. The left arm is up, left foot in front. Push your hips to the left, rotate, and put your right hand to the floor. Not everyone's hips, shoulders, body move the same way. And so there isn't necessarily a perfect way for me to tell you how to do it. It's learning how to use your hips so that you're not bending your spine, and what angles work best for you so that you're protecting your spine and you're learning how to load your joints properly and safely. Good work, rest. 3 rounds to go. So right foot in front again, right arm is up. And this time I'm going to show you how to make it a little harder if you want to. Remember to really control that top arm. Keep it straight and try not to let it sway around. Okay, go. Right foot in front, right arm up. I'm gonna turn my body, put my left hand to the floor. Now, before I come up, I'm gonna lift my hand off the floor and then come up. So there's a moment that I'm still bent over, but my hand is off the floor. That is really tough. So if that does not sound like a fun idea, don't try it. It's better to try it with a light weight or with no weight if you're really not sure. Keep that top arm straight, keep it steady. That is hard. Good job. Rest. Thank you. This shirt is not appropriate for anything apparently. It's just falling off me. Left arm in front, or left foot in front, left arm up. Same thing. I'm gonna rotate and put my hand down, but then before I come up, I'm gonna take my hand off the floor, hold before I come up. It's really tough. Go. So left arm is up, turn, push your bum, hand to the floor, lift that hand if you wish, and then come up.
Boy.
One side will be stronger than the other, most likely. It's not just a strength, there's a flexibility. I have got, my left arm has had some injury, and so it's hard for me to straighten my left elbow. So I really struggle on the left side when my left arm is up. Good work, rest. 2 more rounds. So I'm gonna add on to this, and don't feel like you have to try these options as I present them. You don't have to start making it harder and harder. Stick with the very, very beginning and just work on it. And then when you feel ready, give it a shot. But this time I'm gonna go to my elbow. Right foot in front, my right arm is up. Same movement, bum to the side, turn my body. Now, instead of stopping with my hand on the floor, I'm gonna try and go all the way down to my elbow and then up to my hand and back all the way up. So getting down to your elbow is really tough. You have to have really good flexibility, good range of motion in your hips. And then a lot of strength in the side of your body, the side of your torso to get back up. And it might feel like there's no way I can go to my elbow, and that's okay. Start with the hand, just work on that level. Rest, work on that level, and if it feels like you've been doing it for a while and you're never gonna get down to your elbow, that's fine. It's not mandatory that you get down that low. Not everyone's body will do that. It's the hand down is a good goal, elbow, not necessarily. Left foot in front, left arm up, push your bum to the left, rotate, hand to the floor or elbow. My legs are pretty sore from the last few days. So what I feel when I get down to my elbow, not only is it a hip stretch, a glute stretch, I also feel my hamstring, so the back of that front leg, and it's really being stretched. So if you have tight legs, that's going to be a factor as well. That's going to limit how low you can go. Good, rest. All right, one more time on each side. And if you want to try getting to your elbow, but the floor is just a little too far, you can use the pillow or a book or a yoga block. So exactly the same idea. Right foot in front, right arm is up, ready. Go, push your bum to the side, rotate, hand to the pillow or elbow, and then come back up. So I'm a little bit lower, but not all the way to the floor.
Some people say if you use a book, then you absorb its
You don't have to finish the interval. If you try making it harder and you feel like you want to stop early, that's okay. It's actually really tough to keep that top arm steady without a weight in it. Good, rest. So what I mean is if I'm doing this without weight, my hand is empty, it's actually a lot harder for me to feel how to engage my arm to keep it steady. A light weight gives my brain some feedback so I know how to keep it stable. But if you don't have a light enough weight, you just have to go without. Left side, go left foot in front, left arm up, push your bum, turn right hand to the floor. But even holding like a water bottle might be enough of an object, enough weight in your hand so that you can start to feel how you would engage, what you would engage to keep that arm steady. Oh my God. If you're going down to your elbow, you can make that harder by lifting your elbow off the floor and then coming up. Pausing and then coming up. That's really tough. Good work, rest. Well done. Get some water. We are done with that part. We're going to go on to the main part of the circuit. The very first exercise. So I'm going to have to explain some things. Some of them are going to be new. Okay, so we're going to do a regular squat. I'm going to show you different ways to hold the kettlebell or a tactical squat. So we are I'm going to go over different ways to hold the kettlebell while you squat. If you've done lots of kettlebell squats and you want to do a specific squat, go for it. It's 5 rounds. So I'm going to do a different version each time. So for some of us, it's just going to be learning and testing out different options. For others, if you already have an idea of what you want to do, go for it and just stick with that one thing for the whole 5 rounds. The second exercise is going to be ballistic row and a clean combo. So we're going to do 3 rows and then 1 clean on one side. 3 ballistic row, and we'll switch to the other side. Then we're going to do a single side floor press. I am going to show 3 ways to hold the kettlebell. And we're going to do that on one side and then again on the other side. So it's 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest again, but that's arbitrary. You can stop early if you need to. And we're going to do this 5 times. So the very first thing is the squat. I'm going to show the tactical squat just to remind you, but that's not the first one I'm going to demonstrate. The first one I'm going to demonstrate when we start is the goblet squat. The tactical squat, some of you did this last week. I think it was last week. We hold a squat. So you want to make sure your knees are open and your chest is up. So you don't want to be way down. Try to lift. You can be bent over, but try to lift your chest. And then you're going to figure 8 swing the kettlebell around your legs. And if this becomes too tough, there is a way to stand. Swing, 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 stand. When I stand, the kettlebell swings up in front of me. That is tough, but it gives you a tiny break because holding it the whole time might be too long. But you could also just put it down. You could do a few figure 8s, put it down, stand and take a break, and then do it again. You don't have to hold it the whole time. Just go as long as you can. All right, I'm going to demonstrate the basic goblet squat first. So 15 seconds to go. Grab your kettlebell.
Can you do that one, you know, the one where you pivot?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to stop the timer for a moment. The pivoting one, hold a squat, take a step forward, take a step back, back again. Now, the more you pivot, the harder it's going to be, as in if you go backwards, that's adding on. You don't have to go back. You could just go forward and then switch legs. You can keep the foot that's not moving. There's 2 choices for that. You can not move it at all. This is becoming a lunge, or you can actually lift your heel a little and turn on your foot, actually pivot. So the question I got a lot after we did that was, should I truly pivot on my toe or not? It's up to you. Any way that you can sink down, any position of your feet is safe as long as it doesn't hurt. So the more positions you can move while holding a squat, the better. But not everybody can move that easily. It's going to hurt their knees because it puts a lot of pressure on the quads and therefore on the knees. So there's 2 options. I'm going to go through it again. I step forward without moving my other foot. Absolutely okay if it does not hurt you. And if you want to work on that, go for it. If that doesn't feel okay, lift your heel a little and pivot. Come back and then pivot the other way. Both are totally great, whichever you want to do. Does that help?
Yeah, because that doesn't hurt my knees.
Exactly. Yeah. And some days, it depends on the day for me, but both options are helping you build strength, staying low and sort of challenging that strength in a different way. Okay, let's start. 10 seconds to go.
What are we doing?
I'm doing a goblet squat, any kind of squat you want.
Okay.
Anytime. Ready. Now, Go. For the beginners, goblet squat. Grab the handle of your kettlebell right between your feet, hike it up and hold it close to your body, elbows down, and then go for a squat. So push your bum back, push your knees out, but try to keep your elbows pointing down towards your knees. When you stand up, tuck your pelvis a little and squeeze your bum. So from the bottom up, squeeze your legs, squeeze your bum, and then go again. 10 more seconds, but you can stop early if you need to. Oh. This is the most basic way to use your kettlebell for squatting. Good, rest. Next one, ballistic row and clean. So this is tricky. You're gonna grab your kettlebell in front of your feet. You're gonna pull it up to your chest and switch hands. Down again, switch hands, switch hands. Then put it all the way down and clean. Ready, go. So watch me again for the beginners, take it slow. Right between your toes, right hand, pull it up, switch to your left. Down and up, switch again. Down and up, switch again. 3 switches. Then I'm gonna put it all the way down, turn my hand, my thumb is back, and pull it straight up to my chest. So I just stood up and put my elbow against my body. I'm gonna do that again. Put it all the way down. Left arm, switch, pull it up, switch, pull it up, switch again, 3 switches, but now it ends up on the right. Put it between your feet, stand and bring it up to your chest. Rest. There's a lot for that one. So if it's brand new, it's all good. We're gonna do 5 rounds, so you'll get to practice it more and more. Be patient. Next one. Oh, single side floor press. All right, down to the floor with your kettlebell. Put it beside you. Lay down beside the kettlebell. Go. Put your bottom hand through the handle, top hand over it, hug it, and then turn to your back. Now, level 1, the kettlebell is on the back of my wrist, and I bring my elbow to the floor and back up, down and up. Keeping your lower back to the floor. So I said there's 3 ways to do this. I'm starting this way. Next round, I will switch. If you have other ideas for those that are experienced, for those that are advanced, you can add in a glute bridge. You could add in a single leg glute bridge. Good, rest. Put it down right beside you, but then you have to switch sides. So you're gonna roll, grab it with both hands, and move it over to the other side of your body. When you switch sides, you wanna be really careful. Don't switch it over your face. So now I'm gonna lay down on the other side. So my bottom hand goes through the handle, go, top hand on the top, hug it, and then turn to your back. Now your elbow is right beside the floor, press straight up, and elbow comes back. You wanna keep your elbow pretty close to your body, and you wanna try to keep your lower back close to or against the floor. So maybe tuck your pelvis, bring your belly button in, keep pressing your arms straight up and back down. If it's too long, just stop early. Good work, rest. So that is our 4 intervals. We're gonna start again with squats. So take your time coming up. So the first round, I did the goblet squat, and that is a really great way. It's a basic squat. So keep doing that if that felt good. Good way to get stronger with a heavy weight. This time I'm gonna do single side. Go. So I'm gonna grab the kettlebell with one hand, my thumb points back, and I'm gonna bring it straight up in front of my chest. So it's resting between my forearm and my bicep, and my elbow is pointing down. Feet wide, and then I'm gonna squat the same way. So I'm pushing my bum back, pushing my knees out. What you do with your other hand does affect how it feels. It's better to have that arm in front of you or even in the same position. This is pretty tough. If you put both arms in the same position, that's tough, but you can also help your strength a little by putting that hand on the kettlebell to hold it with both hands. Good work, rest. If you did single side squats, remember which side you did, because next round you want to do the other side. We're going on to that ballistic row and clean. Stand over your kettlebell. You're going to go right, left, right. Go, I think that was wrong. Grab it with the right hand. Up and switch. 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 Now it's in my left hand. I'm gonna touch the floor, turn my arm back, clean straight up. And then do it again. Put it down. And now I'm gonna do 3 switches. So it's right, left, right, put it all the way down, thumb points back, clean it straight up. When you do the clean, think about bringing your elbow to your rib. So you're standing straight up, but your elbow goes right against your body. Good work, rest. We're back down to the floor.
To the window,
So this time, so the first round, I held the kettlebell in one arm, like a basic kettlebell hold. If your kettlebell is lighter, you can try holding it upside down. This is really tough. Go. So set up for the basic hold if that was good for you. If it's way too light, you can turn it upside down, squeeze the handle really hard. Be careful, pay attention to what's happening with the kettlebell in case it falls. Bring your elbow to the floor and press straight up. Really, really light. This kettlebell is a 15 pounds, I think, or maybe 16. And I might be able to do 20, but that would be really difficult. 15 is good, is hard enough. So it would have to probably be a 10 to a 20 for most people. Good, rest. Switch sides. Wait for the timer. But this is a good way to use a light weight. If you have one really light one and one really heavy, changing it to go really light and do a bottom, it's called bottoms up, is a good way to make the best of everything you have. All right, other side. Bottom hand goes through, top hand on the handle, turn to your back. Standard press, kettlebell is hanging from your hand. If you want to try bottoms up, you're going to need both hands to flip it up. Squeeze the handle. Make sure your other hand, your other arm is ready to catch it if it falls. Elbow to the floor, press straight up. Your feet should be on the floor. If you make it harder, put your feet flat on the floor and wide so that your whole body has a good base of support against the floor. Good work, rest. 2 rounds done, 3 to go. Back up to your feet, squats again. So if you did single side squat, you got to do the other side at some point. I'm going to do the other side, but I'm going to do bottoms up. So the exact same thing I just did on the floor, I can do in a squat. Go. So your choices, we started with goblet squat, and those are awesome to get strong with your kettlebell, or if you're going heavier. The second choice was single side rack. Elbow is in, kettlebell is right against my arm, so it's close to my body. An even harder option for single side is to do a bottoms up hold. So I've got the kettlebell upside down, I'm squeezing it really hard. I'm keeping my elbow a little bit out from my body, but close. And then I'm gonna squat like that. Push your hips back and push your knees out. Think about opening up your knees as you come up every time. Good, rest. Ballistic row and clean. When you switch hands in the row, the most common problem or issue the first time someone's doing it is they switch at the bottom. You're switching right up at your chest. So pull it up and then switch hands, down and up and switch. Go. So start with your right hand, bend and hold, bring it up to your chest, switch, and do that 3 times. And then on the third, put it down, turn your thumb to point back, stand up and bring it right to your chest. Put it down and do it again. 3, 2, 1, stand straight up. When you stand, just bring your elbow to your rib. The kettlebell is gonna swivel around your forearm, but if you think about your elbow to your ribs, that's probably gonna correct a lot of problems. It's gonna help improve technique quickly. Good, rest. Back down to the floor. We're up for 2 intervals and then down for 2 intervals, and it feels like all we're doing is getting down on the floor. All right, another way to do a floor press is to hold the kettlebell in your palm. This is just a weird way to hold the weight. Go. So you're on your back, feet flat on the floor, tuck your hips. But this time I'm holding the ball part, so the handle is sticking out. And I'm gonna bring my elbow to the floor and press. This, any way you hold it, changes how it feels. So none of these are better than the other. You just do whatever works for you and the weight you have to work with. But changing this is a completely different sort of stimulus. Now I've got to control my arm and my body in a different way. If you're trying this, the angle of the handle will change how it feels. Good, rest. Remember to bring it down and then switch sides really safely by bringing it close to your body. I'm turning over just so you can see me. Like I've got my arm towards the camera, but normally I would just roll the other way. All right, other side. Go. So I've got the kettlebell in my hand again, but the handle points back behind me. If I turn it the other way so that the handle points towards my feet, that would be harder. So if you have a really light weight and you want to try this, handle back first. That might be hard enough. It is on my left. This is pretty tough on my left. And if I turn it so the handle is forward towards my feet, that would be a lot harder.
Single glute bridge floor press is really hard.
Oh, it's so hard. I really like it though. I really, really like it. Good work. Rest. How many more rounds? Does anyone know?
Two.
Two? Okay.
I thought
Sorry.
we were done.
We're back to squats.
That's what I'm doing too, MJ. Did MJ speak about the floor press? Yeah, me too. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's great though.
Go. So goblet squat, single racked squat. Jen's doing the pivot squats. I'm going to do a goblet squat with a bicep curl. So I'm going to start the same way we did the very first round. I'm going to sink down and hold. I'm going to lower the kettlebell in front, back to my chest and stand. Squat down, curl, stand back up. This is a good way to work on the endurance in your legs because you have to hold, but it also helps with mobility. It helps open up the hips so that it's easier to do lots of the exercises we do that affect the hips. Good, rest. Ballistic row and clean. Say what? If you have a hard time staying bent over for the whole interval, take breaks. Don't feel like you have to finish it. Do a few seconds and then take a rest. All right, bend and hold. Right arm first, 3 switches, up and switch, up and switch, up and switch. Put it down, turn your arm, thumb points back, and clean. Do it again. Left, right, left, clean. When you clean, if it's thumping against your body when you clean, that's a good sign that you're bringing it out and away too far. Think about more going straight up and elbow into your ribs, elbow against your body. Good, rest. Back down to the floor. So I did the regular press with the kettlebell hanging from my hand, the bottoms up press, and then what's called a palm hold. I'm gonna do the glute bridge to show what that looks like. So come down, the basic setup, go bottom hand under the kettlebell, top hand over the handle, turn to your back and press. Now, to add a glute bridge, it's exactly how it sounds. Lift your hips, tuck and hold. There is less of your body on the floor, which makes it harder to stabilize. Now it's harder to not wiggle around. Elbow comes all the way down, press all the way up. If the glute bridge on its own feels kind of okay, you can make it even harder by lifting the opposite foot. So if you're pressing with your right, lift your left. And now you're holding on one side only. I've done that a lot recently because I love it. Good, rest. Switch sides.
Wow, that's hard. I love
so
it too.
Hard, I know.
It's so hard. I had no idea. I love this class.
And I think you could add a glute bridge to the bottoms up press, to the palm, like all of it could be glute bridge. Everything could be glute bridge. Go. So onto your back. Now I'm using my left arm to press down and up and down. And if you want glute bridge and maybe single leg. Single leg glute bridge, it's going to be the opposite leg. So left hand is working, left arm. That means I lift my right leg. You want to keep your pelvis tucked. So if you have a hard time tucking your pelvis, put your foot down again, reset, and then go again. Good work, rest. There is one more round. Starting over with a squat. It's okay to take a break if you need to. So on this last round, now I'm gonna do the tactical squat. So that's holding a squat and you move the kettlebell around your legs. Do whichever squat you liked the most. Keep working on whatever you want. Go. So I'm gonna sink down, my feet are wide, my knees are open, I'm gonna hold this. And then I'm gonna pass the kettlebell around each leg. It's a little bit of a swing. You wanna use a little momentum. You're not just moving it, you're actually swinging it, but it's a figure eight. It goes through and back. Oh my God, halfway. If that's too much, you can stand and swing and then go again, figure eight, stand and swing, or just put it down and stand. You don't have to swing it up to take a break. 5 seconds. Good, rest. Holy moly. That is hard. Okay, then ballistic row and clean.
Standing up with the swinging the weight doesn't really make it easier.
No, well, you've swung it up.
Just different.
Go. Kettlebell is between my feet. Bend and hold. Start on the right. 3 switches. 1, 2, 3. Put it down. Turn your arm. Clean it all the way up and do it again. 1, 2, 3. When you stand, squeeze your legs and bum. So as soon as possible, on the way up, I start to squeeze my legs and my bum so that when the kettlebell comes up, my whole body is tense. What's that? Yep. Good work, rest. Back down to the floor. One more time. Floor press on each side. And I'm just going to demonstrate again how to set up, because the heavier it is, the more important your setup is. Lay on your side in front of the kettlebell. Bottom hand goes through the handle. Top hand over. Go. You can roll to your back and the kettlebell ends up right against your body. You put your elbow down and then start pressing. You want to pay attention to your wrist. This applies to everything we do. Wrist as straight as you can. If you have pain in the front of your wrist, you might be letting the weight pull your hand back too much. It is common to feel the pressure of the kettlebell on the back of your forearm. That is very common. That pressure can be made a little bit better, but part of that is just practice. Good, rest. So what I mean is when I'm holding that kettlebell and that pressure is here, you could adjust the angle of the kettlebell a little, but some of that pressure is tolerance. And as you get more comfortable holding a kettlebell, that pressure will become less. All right, other side, last interval. If you're trying the glute bridge, start with your feet wide first. Make sure you can manage that level with the weight you have, because the weight changes, right? I went heavier this time, so now even just the glute bridge is a lot harder. Single leg, move your feet in so that they're centered, and then lift the opposite foot. So you want to have your feet centered to go single leg. Good work, rest, done with all that. Get some water. We will take a short break. We've got one more circuit, but we're running out of time. So what did I decide? 30-20 times 5 rounds again for this last thing. It's only 3 things. The intervals are shorter, 30-20. And let's do the whole 5. And if you don't have time or don't have stamina for this last bit, just do as much as you want to, as much as you can, even 3 rounds. The finisher in any class is extra. You have done all of the strength part of the workout, which is more than enough as it is. So if you don't want to do more at this point, don't do any more. So swings first, and I'm going to go through lots of different choices again. So any kind of swing you want, but I'm going to start with the basics. Then a plank of your choice. Plank is also a good opportunity to do ab wheel for those that have one. If you like doing ab wheel, go for that. And then the third thing is totally your choice. Anything you want. It could be more core. It could be cardio like jumping jacks or burpees. It could be an upper body exercise, bicep curl, lateral raise, literally anything you want. So starting with swings, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds rest.
Could it be a snatch?
Yeah, go for it. Totally. Yeah. I'm going to be talking about swings the whole time.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Just to demonstrate. But yeah, so Sly just asked if he can do a snatch, but yeah, go for it. If you know what you're doing and you want to use that, use that now, great. All right. 15 seconds to go. So the very basic swing is 2 hands. Start directly over your kettlebell and take a huge step back. Bend your knees, push your bum back. Go, grab the handle, hike it, and stand. Hike and stand. So the kettlebell is right between your legs every time you bend over, and then swinging up to about chest height. Now, if that feels too tough, put it down 2 feet ahead of you. So finish the same way. You can either swing more, or just 2 or 3 or 5, and put it back down. Good, rest. If the kettlebell you're using for a swing feels kind of shocking, do 1 at a time. Hike, swing, put it down, and then do that again. Next up is a plank, any kind of plank you want. So down to the floor. Ready, hands and knees. Go. Before you start, tuck your pelvis and then stretch out your legs. So you're in the same position as a glute bridge. You're squeezing your bum, you're tucking your pelvis. From your hands and toes, elbows and toes, you can do taps, you can do climbers. But you're trying to keep your pelvis tucked and your ribs pulled down. So think about when we do hollow body and dead bug, it's the exact same thing, just holding in a plank position. Good, rest. Last thing is your choice.
Is this the normal one? That was a little easy.
That's light, yeah, go ahead. So anything you want. I'm gonna do body pass. I'm gonna try to do something different each round just to demonstrate different things. You do anything you want with this interval. Go, so a body pass, stand with your kettlebell right in front of you and then swing it around your body. So you're switching hands in front and behind. Be careful if you've never done this. Everybody drops it at some point, but try not to bump your legs or your bum. So actually swing it enough that it clears your body. Keep everything.
I have dropped it in my wall. I have thrown it in my wall. True story, y'all. True story.
I did that at the gym. I have not done it here, but I don't do a lot of body pass at home. All right, round 2, going again with the swing. I'm going to keep talking about the basic 2-hand for now. So big step back between your feet and the kettlebell. Go, bend, get really low, grab the handle, hike it really high between your legs and stand. So this takes a lot of practice. For some people, this is just an awkward movement. Be patient, take your time, and just keep trying. If you have pain in your back, put it down for a moment and watch. You want to try to keep your pelvis tucked. So every time you bend down, scoop your hips. Good, rest. You're pushing your bum back, but you don't want to arch your back. You want to push your bum back, keeping your tailbone tucked. Second thing is a plank. Back down to the floor. For those that are sick of getting down and up off the floor, a farmer's carry would be okay for now. Ready. Back down to the floor, hands and toes or elbows and toes. Oh, it's getting glitchy. It hasn't frozen yet, but it looks like it wants to.
Yeah. See that? It looks maybe right? No.
Freezes on my side.
We're laughing. Keep holding it. Still keep going. The camera has 2 lenses and sometimes one side freezes. I think it's going to happen. I can see it kind of flickering. Good. Rest. And now we're back to your choice. Anything you want. I'm going to put on a mini band and do side to side steps. I'm going to do something different for each of these your choice intervals. You can follow my lead or you can stick with one thing that you've chosen. Go. So I'm going to put the band on my legs. This is a really strong band, so I've got it above my knees. If it's lighter, you can go lower. And I'm stepping side to side with my bum pushed back a little, my tailbone tucked, and I'm stepping out, pushing with my knees. So I'm not stepping with my foot so much, I'm leading with my knees side to side. Good work, rest. That's 2 rounds done. Do as much as you can, as much as you have time for. Starting over with swings. So be careful when you swing that most of that movement should come from your hips, your bum. So your bum goes back and then you stand. Ready. Go. Remember to start with a big space between you and the kettlebell, hike and stand. So bum, stand. Try not to think about your knees as much as your hips and your bum. If you bend your knees more, what ends up happening is you squat down and stand. And that's not necessarily dangerous if the kettlebell is light, but as the kettlebell gets heavier, you're going to end up trying to lift it with your arms. And you want all of that power to come from your hips. Rest. Ooh, plank again. I said you could also do a farmer's carry instead of a plank, and that really just means holding weights and standing. You don't have to move around. You don't have to get on the floor. Go. But anything you do, plank of any kind, farmer's carry, Jen's doing a Pallof press if you use an ab wheel. The goal is to hollow body. So your ribs are down and your pelvis is tucked, and you hold that as hard as you can. It might not be possible to hold it the whole interval. And if you start to lose that brace, just reset. Put your knees down, tuck, squeeze your bum, and go again. Crap, I'm hungry. Rest. Good, your choice is next. I did body pass. I did side to side steps. This time I'm gonna do halo. I'm trying to think of kettlebell movements, simple kettlebell movements. That it can be done with a dumbbell as well, but grab a light kettlebell. This is your choice. Go. I'm holding it with both hands. My elbows are down. I'm gonna draw a circle around my head and then come back to front. My elbows are down again. Go the other way. Draw a circle around your head and bring it down. You're gonna keep alternating directions, but the goal of this is that the kettlebell is really close to your head and that your elbows are down in front, up when the kettlebell is back, and then down in front again. Good, rest. That's 3 rounds done. Starting over. Swings again.
When's my side gonna freeze?
So you want to practice pushing your bum back and standing. That's the whole movement of a swing. Go. If you have done deadlifts, it's the same motion as a deadlift, but because you hike the weight and then swing it forward, let it swing forward, instead of coming straight up and down, the movement swings forward. But what happens through your hips and your knees is the same as a deadlift. Rest. Always, always finish with the kettlebell a couple feet ahead of you. So you're going to sink down and let it hit the floor way out in front. Whoa, plank is next. You can stop. Wish there was a button to make it free. Ready, plank. Go. So hands or elbows. Tuck your pelvis, squeeze your legs, squeeze your bum. If you want to make a plank harder, The best first step is from your hands and toes, taking one leg out to the side and tapping the floor and then switching. It's like you're doing side to side toe taps or jumping jacks, but just very controlled, one leg out and back, other leg out and back. Rest. That is a really good first step to lifting something off the floor when you're in a plank. We're back to your choice. This time, I think I'm going to do a bicep curl with the kettlebell because there's a few ways to do it that we don't realize how to make it harder and easier. Go. So a bicep curl with a kettlebell. Hold the handles, elbows in, and the ball is at the bottom, down in front, and then back up. So I'm lowering it as far down towards my legs as I can, and then I'm curling it back up. Now, if I wanted to make that harder with the same weight, I have to turn the ball so now the ball is out. This is harder because now all the weight is away from my body and it makes that same kettlebell feel harder to use. Rest. Oh, is that 3? We're on round 4?
No, this is 5, I think.
Is this 5?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. I was like, no way, she's right.
I've been counting since the first interval.
Last set of swings. Go.
I'm doing single arm swings, ab wheel, and pull-ups. I know exactly.
Oh my God. Last important part of swing is to make sure the kettlebell is as high between your legs as you can, as high as possible. If it goes low, if there's a lot of room between the kettlebell and your crotch, you're going to be chasing it on the way down and rounding your back too much. So really high between your legs. Rest. I want to demonstrate that. If you were trying swings, maybe for the first time, watch how high it is between my legs. If I let it go low, I lose all of that control and I have to round my back. So really high. Plank is next, or ab wheel. Go.
It's all burpee. You remember, I have to make up for that. Doing all this other stuff.
Another option for plank is trying to tap one hand to the other. So hold from your hands and feet. Feet are wide. Bring your hands close. Touch the back of the other hand and switch. Tap and switch. But my hands are really close together. Good, rest. Last interval. Oh yeah. Your choice again. This time I'm gonna go back to body pass. I think I did it the very first round or the second round, but I'm gonna add a catch. I'm gonna swing it and I'm gonna catch it. Go. So you start the same way, feet are hip width. Swing it first, and then bring it up in front and catch it with the other hand. Switch behind, catch it in front. This is harder. There's just more to think about. It may not feel harder in terms of a strength challenge, but there is more to think about, more technical, so it makes that harder. Try not to let your body move around, keep everything controlled. Nice work. Done, good job, rest. All right, we have run way over. I'm still gonna run, for those that don't know, I always finish these classes with a glute finisher that became the pandemic thing. And we're just gonna keep doing it forever. So if you wanna stick around for a glute finisher, stay. Otherwise, have a great day. See you tomorrow, see you Tuesday.
Anyone want to do
I'm here.
Jen wants to do the lunge complex.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Sly's doing it.
Okay.
Have fun, Jen.
I'll tell you, the lunge complex is a glute finisher, but there's a lot of leg. It's,
I'm in.
sure, bye, have a good day.
No,
Okay.
I'm doing the glutes.
Oh, you're doing it, okay. The first interval is regular lunges. The second interval is single leg deadlift. Don't pick up a kettlebell, go without. The third interval is runner's lunge. I guess I'm gonna be doing this. The fourth interval is knee pump. And then we do the whole thing on the other side. So if you wanna join, do that. Otherwise, actually, I'll talk you through it, but Jen's gonna demo. I'm gonna do glute bridge, just like the warm up.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with Jen.
Okay.
Today's the day for doing the stuff I don't really want to do.
I'm joining you too, Jen. So you better you better demo
Yeah, I'm
properly.
doing it too, so count me
Good
in here.
form.
10 seconds to go.
So first turn your hips like this.
Good job, Jane Fonda.
Yo,
My favorite.
I'm doing a glute bridge. Jen is doing lunges. Don't switch legs. Stay on one leg. If you're doing those lunges, it's the same leg for the first 4 intervals. If you're following Jen, it's a single leg deadlift. So the same leg that went back is now lifting up behind. But push your bum back. Maybe touch the floor, maybe not. I am holding a glute bridge. The third thing is going to be a runner's lunge. I'm going down and up. Runner's lunge means take a step back and touch the floor with one or both hands. So you're really getting low. You're bringing your chest right down to your leg. I am repeating glute bridge up and down. And now up and hold. And Jen is on knee pump. Same leg, straight back. Bring that knee in and out. Don't stand up. You want to stay low in your lunge position. And then get ready. We're going to switch legs in 5 seconds. Glute bridge, you just keep going. Switch, other leg, reverse lunge. I am still doing glute bridge, down and up, just like the warm up. Take your time with lunges. Good, now single leg deadlift or glute bridge hold. For the single leg deadlift, you don't have to touch the floor. Don't reach for the floor. If the floor feels too far, try to touch the handle of your kettlebell. Don't pick it up, tap the handle. Good, now runner's lunge. So big step back, touch the floor with one hand or both hands. I am on glute bridge, down and up. Last thing is knee pump or glute bridge hold. Knee pump, stay low. Stretch your leg out behind you, bring your knee in and out. Try to stay down. Stick your bum back, keep your knee bent. 8 seconds. My voice hurts. I think I'm getting cold. Done. Good work.
Wow, bravo, Jen. That was perfect.
Nice.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks. Good.
Good work, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
That was good.
See you tomorrow.
okay,
See you
everybody.
Tuesday. Bye.
We'll be able to do a lot of stuff, which is good.
Yeah, that was good.
I've been awake since about 3.
Oh, so you must feel pretty tired though. You must be kind of
Well,
wrecked.
my back's been, I couldn't sleep because of my back. I'm back
Oh,
and
that's
forth.
awful.
Yeah, so,
Hate
and
that.
it's weird. I can do windmill, but I couldn't go down. Like I usually can go down to my elbow,
Yep.
but I could touch and then lift my arm. And
Okay.
it was fine.
So that's hard. Then that's pretty tough as it is.
That was fine. But the going down,
Yeah.
it's right. I'm thinking maybe sciatic. Or what side or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
really strange. It's just things I couldn't do plank. I can't do plank.
And the thing, so nerve pain, like sciatic pain or piriformis, which is what I have often, tons of people, like a lot of women have sciatic pain. That is really normal. And the thing is, so, you know, like pigeon pose or some stretches that stretch your glutes feel so good, but the more that you stretch, like some stretching might actually totally help the problem. But on the other hand, you can actually stretch too much and it causes that nerve to get more angry and more painful. It's annoying. There's a point where the stretching is beneficial and then you can cross a line and the stretching actually makes the symptoms worse.
Make it worse.
So yeah, like pigeon pose or like when you're sitting and you put one foot up, that's a great way to relieve that.
Okay.
But be careful. Don't I And how far, like how much stretching is too much is personal. So like one person might be able to stretch a lot and it really helps. Another person stretches and it hurts them. Like it's annoying. But but it's like the more you stretch it, it's like you start to tell your brain to tense up even more around that area. It's a weird thing. Yeah.
Like a fear thing.
Yeah.
So it all worked well, but
so yeah, so if it helps, try a little bit of stretching, but don't feel compelled to stretch a lot. Like don't think like more is better. Try just a little. Yeah.
Moving. I'm trying to keep moving and not be stagnant. That's
me too. I'm not sure. I'm like, my mom's the same. Like the more sedentary we are, the more pain we become, like the more pain we get in. If I don't stop moving, I feel pretty good, but I get like I'm worn out.
Hard at night when you're trying to
it's annoying.
like, well, yeah, no, it's all good. Thank you.
Bye guys. Have a good day.
Yes. Thanks, Jenny.
I sit down to watch a movie and I can hardly get up.
Yes, exactly.
I just can to watch.
Sandra,
Oh, it is.
Sandra, do you live
Hey, see you later.
Algonquin Square, like the Loblaws? Do you go shopping there? I can't.
What
hear.
happened?
I do.
Oh, okay. I think I saw you the other day, but I wasn't too sure because
Oh,
you
like
had
it was
masks
me.
on. But next time I'll say hi.
Okay.
I was just like, I don't know if that's her. She's like,
I have the curly pom pom on my head, so I'm pretty easy to find. And if I'm in the department where they sell weights, you'll find me there.
Yeah, you were actually shopping for vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye guys. Have a good day.
Bye. See the chocolate in my cart.
I'll inspect it if I see you.
You can see my cart is so funny. It's usually pretty extreme. It's either all extremely healthy or it's all really bad. Like there's never a middle. You know how I'm doing based on my cart. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye. When he started barking, I put myself on mute. And then I was trying to answer, I'm on mute.
Then you can you take the recording off? Is it cookie time, Finley? Cookie.
It's you, Christine, your host.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, this time I'm gonna get Darby.